What's happening, guys? This is James Blom with a first look at Chrono, a browser-based 3D side-scrolling brawler from Inway Games. Now, currently the game is playable through Facebook in a closed beta state, but even so, the game puts itself amongst the same style of games as, say, Dark Blood or Dungeon Fighter Online. Now, both of those games have just been canceled, but you know what they say, for every dungeon brawler that gets canceled, another one holds true. Now, actually, I just made that up right now, but it sounds nice. And from what I've seen so far with Chrono, it has some really fancy elements to it with some nice developer backing that just might grab your attention. So, starting out, you play as this character right here, a rock. I think that's how you say it. Now, there are 4 total characters you can play, but 2 are not available in the current beta. And what I'm trying to do here is defeat Shadow Loafie, which is putting up a pretty good fight. This is the corrupt version of Loafie, the second playable character, and once I beat enough crap out of her, the corruption will lift and I'll be able to play the game through the storyline of Loafie. So each character has 2 skill paths to go down. For Arok, I went with the Stonebreaker skill path opposed to the Berserker path, but you can mix and match as you choose. In fact, the last time I leveled, I placed skill points on the first Berserker passive. My W skill is Sucker Punch, which does concentrated damage to enemies with full health. I don't have enough energy to do it right now, but it's the one I've been using that causes the huge boulder to come out of the ground. My Q skill, though, is a little bit more effective. It does damage along a linear path. Yeah! Now we got it. So I've unlocked Loafie, and what we'll do now is start the game with Loafie and talk a little bit more about the elements within the game as we make our way through the first couple of dungeons. C+. Oh man, I didn't do near as good as I thought I did there. Alright guys, this is the first unlockable character, Loafie, and it doesn't take very long to get to her. You just have to beat like 6 or so dungeons to get to it. So it doesn't take very long, maybe 30 minutes to actually unlock her in the game, and then you get to play her as this storyline. So as you can probably tell, the game is based around combos and juggling and high scores. And the game plays a lot like Elsword in terms of controls, but instead of X and Z or combos of the such, you're going to use D and S to create combos, which I just leveled up, and my new combo is D and S, which I'm going to use on this guy. So as you continue to level up, you gain access to more and more combos, and each of the combos becomes more and more elaborate. So let's use my first skill here called Shadow Walk, and basically allows me to dodge incoming enemy attacks while responding with a pretty powerful uppercut. Not bad. So Loafie's attacks here are a little bit more flashy than Arok. I like how she uses her little, I guess, fairy or sprite that's with her as a weapon. That's pretty cool. Oh, and another thing you can do in the game is you can actually block. You can actually block by hitting A, and you can also kick them back if they get too close to you. It's kind of a counter, which is pretty neat. The only thing that really stops you from doing these elaborate combos is occasionally an enemy, if you get overrun, or if an enemy comes in there and just kind of counters your attack. I really like how the game has these sort of finishing moves after you've killed the last enemy in the area, which is pretty cool. Shows you where to go, and... Uh-oh. Okay, good. Yeah, we made it. Didn't get stuck. Alright, so I really like the way that Loafie's combos look. She looks like one of the last airbenders. Man, who knows, maybe Loafie is one of the last airbenders. She's got moves like this. Alright, so let's see if we can kind of take out these guys and maybe get a cool combo going here. Let's see here. I'm going to start off with my first skill. And, I was hoping to pop him up. But, oh, we got it. Brutal. And, nope, missed. But I'm still in combo. It's nice because you can kind of move around and chain your combos. The combos are really easy to execute, which I really am a fan of. You know, some games it's like, yeah, you can do combos, but they're a little harder. One thing that's really fancy about this game is the fact that you can continue combos and turn direction. So if you've got enemies in front of you, you can actually turn around and start knocking down enemies behind you, which is pretty neat, and continue the combo that way. So it's very, very fulfilling in terms of the way the combos work. And as I was playing with Arok, I think I got some like 38 to 40 hit combos going on, and they're pretty satisfying. Especially when it starts screaming like brutal and murderous and stuff at you. It's pretty nice. Whoa, that guy is ugly. Kind of looks like the guy from the Mucinex commercial. The booger. Uberzitz. Butt chin. Alright, so let's beat this little mini-boss. It's the first little mini-boss of the game. It didn't seem to be pretty big. Oh, crap. Should see, sometimes they can counter your attacks, like I was saying earlier, and you gotta be careful. And Loafie here, unlike Arok, has a lot lower health, so I gotta be careful. She's definitely not as tanky, so there's a huge difference between the characters, and I suppose as the other characters are unlocked, there's going to be quite a bit of difference in them as well. So I picked up an item there that looked like a sword, and that's just basically an indication that that was a weapon that I picked up, not actually that it's a sword. A+, that's what I'm talking about. All right, let's go to the skill tree here and take a look at our skill paths. We've got Shadow or Summoner. Let's figure out what skill we're going to add here. We've got Loafie grows in size, stunning nearby enemies, or creating an empowering pool of shadow energy. While in it, Loafie has increased offensive power. Well, I kind of like the sound of that. That's nice. Alright, increasing, okay, so she increases her damage as she gets bigger, armor, and range. I really like that. That makes sense. She gets bigger. Shadow Shift. Shadow Step is the one that you start out with, and it does water damage. It actually does, what, 800 water damage, opposed to something big here that does 800 earth damage. Now, I'm thinking that later on in the game, as you encounter higher level enemies, they'll have resistances towards these elements, and so you'll have to use your skills accordingly. At the same time, I imagine that you'll run into enemies that deal these sort of damages, these elemental damages, and you'll have to build your gear up towards creating resistances towards that. So save and exit. And now we'll take a look at the inventory because we've got a new weapon to equip. This is the Black Cat Bone that's going to replace our Sprite. And it does 22 damage per second versus the Sprite's 20 damage per second. And it looks a lot cooler. It kind of changed the way it looks. Like a... I don't know how to describe that. Man, she's got some big hands. All the better to beat you with. Alright, so we're going to go to the world map to select the next dungeon, which is Miller's Path. We're going to do it on normal, and after we beat it on normal, you can obviously choose hard or heroic difficulties. So let's do this here. Oh, also in the inventory menu, you can repair your items, which I'm just doing after maybe... I guess 2 dungeons or so is about right. Because right now I really don't have a whole lot of equipment to repair, so it's not that big of a deal. And so there you go. There's the first of one of my new abilities. This is Shadow Shift, and as long as I stay in this little AoE area, it's indicating that I have an increased offensive attack. Alright, so this guy, Widget, is kind of leading us along the storyline, which basically what I'm doing here is I'm protecting this town from these blue mutant Wolverine pigmen here from multiple universes. And here's my other new ability, Something Big, which increases my damage, armor, and range. Definitely tell the difference here. This one seems to be pretty effective. I guess the Shadow Shift, this one here, is good if you're getting surrounded by a bunch of enemies, which I don't know that that's actually going to be a problem until later on. Because you got to stay within that AoE to actually do the increased offensive damage. I bet you could use them together really well, because... you know, because the passive that I equipped, it actually increases my energy, so I'll have enough energy to use both. Alright, so now I'm going to have to face these stupid spiders. I hate these because as they level up, if you play the tournament mode, which is basically wave after wave of enemies, you'll notice that I'm breaking the urns. He doesn't want me to do that. I'm going to do it anyway. You can't tell me what to do. But anyway, in the tournament mode, you face... wave after wave of enemy, and they get increasingly harder, and some of the higher level spiders will kamikaze themselves. I suppose their ass explodes all over you with poison and whatnot, and it sucks because you can't really tell when they're going to do that, and they may do that right in the middle of your combo. Yeah, here we go. Now I'm racking up some points. Ah, I ran out of enemies. No, got one left. Keep it going. Oh well. So another thing that's really cool about the combo system in this game is that you can actually integrate your skills into your combos and kind of use them as a transition to further your combo, which is really cool because the combos are easy enough for anybody to be able to do, but if you're an advanced player and you want to really get critical on there, you can actually go down your skill tree and figure out what sort of skills will work well with whatever type of combos you want to be able to do. So there's kind of a tactical aspect to the game, and with the variety of characters, you know, that's even more. I mean, the game is definitely not lacking in variety when it comes to play style. So another thing I'm looking forward to in this game, which is not currently available in the beta, is the game is promoting a multiplayer co-op as well as PvP. It doesn't have this feature yet, like I was saying, but as detailed as the open-end player progression goes in this game, multiplayer is going to be freaking epic. Now, the way the currency works in the game is it's set up a lot like Akinero Demon Hunters in that you have both gold and crystals. Now, when I started playing the game, I think I had like 17 crystals. And in the cash shop, you can purchase items with both forms of currency, and from the looks of things, the higher quality items are bought with crystals opposed to gold. And you can choose between the various gear and items that you would also find as loot while playing. It also looks like you can purchase boosts in the game, but they're not currently available in the beta, so we don't really know a whole lot about that. But But I did just get a 23 hit combo. That's not bad at all. Nice. But yeah, both forms of currency can be purchased with real money, and one of the differences being that you can't get crystals as loot from killing enemies where you can with gold, as you've seen me pick up already. Sweet, so I just leveled up, and it looks like I got a aerial attack now, kind of a jump up and do a combo. Alright, so let's see if I can put it to good use, maybe get a higher skilled combo. Nice, so I chained in 2 of my skills there, like I was talking about earlier, and wow, alright, cool, 38, 42, nice, keep going, multi-kill. I like this little closed-in area that I really don't have anywhere to go. 55 hit combo? Ah, I ran out of enemies. Nice, so that was a great example of using my skills to chain into more combos. I knocked them up in the air with Shadow Walk and I increased my range with something big. And so you can see that as you level up, you expand on your combos, which allows you to kind of introduce them to yourself accordingly, so you start learning them as you go. And this here is the actual final boss of this little dungeon, so I've kind of got to focus on this guy, because this was a little bit harder last time I fought him with Arok, and I don't have any resistances to this fire damage that he keeps doing to me. He keeps knocking me back. The bosses and the higher level enemies will knock you back like that right in the middle of your combos. I'm about to die. This is not good. Throw a grenade just because I have 2 of them. The game starts you out with 2 grenades once you start with a new character. Come on, just one more hit. No, crap. I killed one and got hit by the other one. Probably only need one more hit. Okay, so when you die, you can actually choose to revive by using the crystals or gold. Yep, one more hit. And so I guess you'll just choose whichever one you have more of. I probably should have used gold then, but if you run out, obviously you've got to use real money to continue. Otherwise, you have to start back from the beginning of the dungeon. So anyways, guys, I'll leave you with some later footage of the tournament survival mode that I was talking about a little bit earlier. And with the tournament mode, you have 3 attempts at playing the tournament with tokens. These tokens regenerate every 30 minutes, I believe, or you can instantly purchase them by using crystals. But I've got to say this game is really addicting. It's a really addicting Facebook game in that matter. But then again, I really like this type of game, so I'm kind of biased on that. But I definitely say try it out. It's in closed beta at the moment, so pick up a key from the giveaway section at MMOHut.com. And like I said at the beginning of the video, this game has some really nice developer backing. Some of the guys on the team also worked on games like Diablo 2 and the Dead Space series, so it kind of gives you an idea of what's behind this game, what's backing it as it gets closer to launch. But when they add multiplayer co-op and PvP, I'll be officially hooked on the game. But until then, I'll slowly make my way towards the level cap of 29, and however long that takes. So if you're looking for more information about the game, you can always check out the profile at MMOHut.com. So once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.